Heidi ho, guys! Mr. Taylor here with another version of TaylorBOTICS. Today we will be covering yet again the third function of the light sensor, which is ambient light mode, and that is when the color sensor interacts with the light from the environment around it. So I have a new robot that we'll be testing it on. This is Brock Lesnar. Becky built this for me. Awesome. It's like kind of like a tank. Has a propeller right here with the small medium motor on it, the two large treads, but the color sensor right here. So we're going to be looking at a code that when light is taken away or produced to this color sensor, how you can make it function, and we'll look at the codes for that as well. So let's get going and head right on to shout outs. First thing I want to say is shout out to all of the new people who are watching and turning in stuff. It makes me so happy. I love to see names pop up that I haven't seen. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos as well. And guys, don't forget, if you do the work, make sure you click that turn in button so I can see it. All right. First shout out is going to go to a Mr. Justin Lilly. Justin put a function on yesterday's assignment for the brown function. His function was to boogie baby. I thought that was awesome. And then I started looking at other ones, and a lot of you guys thought like a robot, which I love it because you guys are the content is getting to you. A lot of you had, like maybe red go forward, blue turn right, black back up, things like that, which is awesome. Some of you guys really thought outside of the box. And I want to take just a few seconds and share some of the ones that I thought were pretty interesting with you. So have a look at these. Pretty creative, guys. Awesome. One of my favorites was, when I think green, I think of plants. So the robot would try to avoid that. Or when you see black, you think of road and it would stop. Or blue and water. So definitely some inferencing going there with the colors and what you think. So awesome. Good job, guys. I'm saying awesome a lot today. No more awesome. All right, we do have a meme today. This meme comes from Tyler, and it made me laugh so hard that the dog started barking. And it took him a few minutes to quiet down. But I mean, I saw it and I was just like, what? So here it is. Take a look at it. It says, when someone drops a bucket of Legos and then walks away like it wasn't them, say psych right now. I guess, yeah, that hat, that expression, like I'm sure everybody has been in my classroom and has seen my reaction when I hear something fall. It's just like, oh man, sometimes I don't even want to look. So awesome. Keep sending in those memes. Send in shout outs, comments, posts, videos, things like that. Have no videos to share. A quick update on our pins versus pegs. We only have, as of right before I filmed this video, 44 responses. That's not even a third of all the students. So I'm going to keep it open. I will just say this. It is very close. Do you think they should be called pins or pegs? We do have questions, so let's move along to questions right now. So the first question I have, this also counts as a shout out for you, Josephine, as well, was when would you use the color sensor? So we have all those functions in the assignment from yesterday that you did, and you gave a color to a function to a different color and things, but when would you practically use the color sensor? Like when? I'm going to show you how you would use the ambient color sensor today, but I do have, and this was another question from a student about how do you make the color sensor follow a line? Now there's a program that we are going to spend one full lesson of TaylorBOTICS on, showing you how to create it so that if it sees a line, it's going to follow that line, the line following program. So we'll look at that. But some things, that's another thing that you would use it to follow a line. How about to detect the line? Go on until it hits a line, and then it's gonna turn and go left. Or to move until a color. Instead of having to
sit there and code, all right, this is 743 degrees, and then it's going to turn.
No, you could have it move until it saw a certain color. Move until it saw green, stopped, maybe backed up a little bit, turn to go around whatever type of obstacle that you may be trying to get around. And then that goes with the maze. I think somebody wrote in there with the no color, it could detect the mirror. And that would be good for a mirror maze. So awesome. You guys are really thinking, really using what we're talking about, and showing me that it's sinking in. Maher wrote, what happens if you replace the black tape that I tested with red tape? Well, the only thing I would need to do is go back into the program and change to the red value. Or if I'm using the reflected light intensity, I would need to go back in and figure out where on 0 being dark, 100 being light, where red came in that range, and just change it in the program. That's all I would need to do if I did blue tape, green tape, whatever tape. Just being able to understand that, okay, I've got to change the data that my program's looking for it to do the next action that I want it to do. And the last question came from Morgan, and it said, can we make our own color key? You can make your own color key. There is actually a very advanced block that the creator of the color sensor created. It's called a RGB block, red, green, blue. And you can actually calibrate and come up with like millions of colors that it could detect. So you got to download it, import it, and then you get it in software. But that's a little advanced coding. But yeah, so you actually can do that. And I'm just thinking right now, you guys are probably figuring out like what's up with the hair. Well, hopefully you guys got some crazy hair because of our virtual spirit week. So I mean, I don't have a lot of hair. It's like disappearing. But I figured I would just do that. And I've been walking around the house, and Miss Taylor, you gonna leave your hair like that? Well, it looks like I put my finger in an electrical socket. So, all right, before we get on to our daily feature, some of you guys have asked about how I code or program the drone. So I'm going to just show you a brief, it's almost like an appetizer. Just a little taste, because again, I'm going to spend some more time on that in TaylorBOTICS with programming those drones. So let's take a look at that program, and then we'll go outside and see if there's any cows in the backyard, and we'll fly the drone and see if we can take a look at them. Okay, so here is the software. It is called Drone Blocks. It's by Tello. It's a Tello drone. I mean, as you can see up here, all very simple. Takeoff, navigation, I can set the speed, fly forward, backwards, left, right, flip, so you can flip forward, backwards, all around. Loops, if I wanted to go do that multiple times. Logic, if and then, math, variables, you can create different things, and then land. So this is just the appetizer. I am going to take off. Let's say I want to fly up some more, and it's going to be going, I'm going to want to probably fly up at least another 100 inches. Let's throw a flip in there just for a flip. And fly forward. We'll keep going with 100. And then we are going to land. So I mean, very, very simple drag and drop coding. And then it's just all about trial and error with this because there's so many different types of sensors and things. So let's go take a look and see how this does. All right, guys, so here is our drone, and let's test out that code that I just wrote. So launch the mission, takes off. Now it should go up 100 inches. Let's see. There's our flip. Now it should go forward, and you can hear Riyadh. She really wants that drone. And then we are landing. There we go. So I hope you guys liked that little appetizer of the drone programming and what you can do. Now there is an app that you can download it and can remote control it, but it takes more skill to actually code it and program it, and it aligns with what we're doing in robotics too. So I'll spend more time on that later on in TaylorBOTICS, but right now let's head on to our daily feature. Okay, so today we are finishing up the color sensor. So today will be our last day that we talk about the color sensor exclusively. We'll talk about it when we do some different combinations of sensors and things like that. But today we're going to be talking about ambient light with the color sensor. And I have it on here on Brock Lesnar, the tank. So the code that I am going to be showing you guys is when it's dark, this guy's not going to move. But if there's light, like maybe a bright room or a flashlight, it will move. The engines will turn on. So let's take a look into how to code that. I'm going to be using something new called a switch, and I'll briefly explain that, but we'll dive deeper into switches later. All right, guys, here we are with the ambient light test. First thing I want is a loop because I want it to go infinitely, so unlimited. Then I'm going to want a switch in there. Now, you see a check mark and an X, so I want you to think about this as like a light switch. When it's on, and the conditions of whatever you have right here is met, then whatever is there, whatever code you have, is going to go. When these conditions are not met, then it is going to do what you put here. So I want to go color, compare, ambient light, and the color sensors in port 5 or port 4. So anything that is less than 50%, it's going to do what is here. Anything that is more than 50%, it's going to do here. So anything dark, light. Now, I want it when it's dark for it to not do anything. I'm just going to turn it off. Now, when it is light, let's see. I want it to, maybe go forward. Say 3 rotations, and then let's do a spin turn. Let's make that a -50 for those spin turns. And let's say like 2 rotations. So it's going to go on and on and on like that. So when it's dark, nothing. And then if it's light, it's going to keep doing that. So let's download it and go test it. As you can see, our program is running ambient light test. The light is on, a blue light. So remember, my switch had, if it was less than 50, so like dark. So I mean, even like right now, it's not really dark, but it's still not light enough for it to activate the other. So I have a handy dandy flashlight. It's pretty bright. Ooh. So let's see. I just love how that tank does a spin turn. So again, darkness is stopped. Light does the program. Now notice how the light doesn't have to stay on it for it to run the program. That's just kind of like a activation. So one more time. So ambient light measures the light or the environment around it. There you have it. Brock Lesnar successfully ran that program that I just created. So whenever there was not enough light, darkness, and I mean, you saw in my kitchen, I mean, the lights were on, but still that wasn't bright enough to activate the code. And then when I shine the flashlight on it, it would do that. Now the flashlight just activated the program. I didn't have to keep it on to keep it going. That would be another code. But the question that I'm going to have you guys fill out today, and there won't be a lot of questions, is how could you use the ambient light mode of the color sensor in a project, a challenge, real life, anything like that. We will be continuing to work on our coronavirus versus robots. Read some of your ideas, and awesome. I've got something in the works for that. But our coronavirus fact of the day is wanted to talk about how is COVID-19 or the coronavirus treated. Now, in most people who are healthy and they get it, rest, fluids, and I mean, you just got to quarantine yourself. You're hearing that word a lot, quarantine, for a couple weeks. You just got to allow your body to fight off the infection. Now, the elderly people or people who are in poor health, that's when they need to be admitted to a hospital. They might have breathing problems and need the ventilators. I know in the news they've been talking about, we need hospital beds. We need, ICU beds that have ventilators. That's because the coronavirus can really affect your lungs and how you breathe. So healthy people, really it's just quarantining for those 2 weeks. Lots of fluids, resting, anything like that. When you feel bad, you just want to, lounge around, watch Netflix and chill. Hey. So that is our episode of TaylorBOTICS today. A few things. Mr. Smith has asked us to try to start taking attendance. I talked with some of the other related arts teachers. We did a Zoom meeting today, and some of them, they might just post a question and you put an emoji in Classroom or something, or a word, whatever, this and that. So be on the lookout for whatever I do. It'll be in Classroom, so you'll see it. Don't forget to answer the questions, as well as, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like there's one more thing I'm forgetting. Boom. I got a TikTok for today. Here it is. I had a lot of fun making that, a lot of fun seeing the end result. It was great. Mrs. Taylor didn't have as much fun trying to keep Riyadh there and not get to the food first, but I thought that was pretty cool how it worked out the way it did. It took me just, less than 5 minutes to figure out the code on that, to just go straight, turn straight again, put a little bit speed in that second straight, and I think that's what made the robot win. I also, and this is Mrs. Taylor's idea, so don't blame me. She said, oh, Riyadh's going to win regardless, so you should put the food zigzag. So that's why I did it, and I actually slowed her down. So, all right, guys, answer the questions. Keep an eye on Classroom for that attendance link. And if there's anything I can ever do to help you guys, or if you have any questions, please let me know. All right. Have a great day on Crazy Hair Day.